Hi guys, Raven here. I'm sorry that my energy is, I'm on like a higher frequency at night, so that's why sometimes the lighting isn't so great. But I wanted to quickly say thank you for the present, the mortar and pestle. It's actually marble stone, which comes in different colors because just like crystals and just like humans, it's imperfect in its color and everything else, just like we are. So, I wanted to tell you guys a bit about writing your own spells. Now, you can write your own spells, make your own spells, put it in your book of shadows, but you want to at least wait until you've went through a little bit at least of a learning process. As you go on that process, it's going to get better and better, easier and easier. You're gonna wanna maybe, I mean, you don't have to, but it's a good idea to learn about frequencies and getting on a higher frequency. Um, Also, as far as writing your own spells, it is like the simplest thing. If you're a new witch, and I hate using the word newbie because I didn't like it, and I find it offensive to this day. I don't like when people say newbie. We're all learning. We could be 25 years in our craft and we're still learning, and we learn from each other. You know, I've learned from other witches. Like, I wish I knew as many growing up, but if you watch my videos with me and my sister talking, it doesn't show up with her face, but just talking about my background, we talk about like how my grandmother was a witch, and she doesn't even has never even met her and feels connected to her. Well, there's a witch that I've never met that I feel connected with, but I'm not going to say her name right now. But regardless of that, you can write your own spells. It doesn't even have to rhyme. Everything really is about intent. Um, some people don't even realize they're doing spells. Like, for instance, if you feel like the energy is just not good and you want to clean up, and even if something tells you to sweep towards the door, which you always want to sweep, mop toward the door, you want to get any of that dust, is negative energy. I could tell you guys how to cleanse a house. Like, all that stuff is negative energy. And I will do my house cleaning, spiritual house cleansing video, and I know I have a spiritual bath video on my Boston Gal Tarot, my sister site. Well, this is really the sister site, but sister. I don't know. But it's so weird because also, before I get into that, I want to tell you guys that it's very important. Some witches don't really work with the moon phases, but certain moons you want to kind of sometimes like find out how the moon phase is going, for specific spells, because like say a new moon, new beginnings, like fertility, if you're doing a fertility spell, such and such. If you want new love, you want a new job, the new moon's great. um, there's certain types of moons that, you know, if you want something to come toward you, it's not the, because like I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a full moon is the moon where you would want to release things, anything negative, get rid of. So why do a new beginning spell like fertility or love spell? You know what I'm saying? It's because everything is with the earth. It's the energies within the sun, the moon. All this stuff has energy in it, and we're working with these things. We're manipulating nature in a way. Not manipulate. I don't want to say manipulate, but you know what I'm saying. We're manipulating our realities, and we're working with nature, not against it, to get what we desire. But like a lot of spells, even spells I've read years ago, was always out of need, not out of greed. And whenever I would do a money spell, which I actually don't do often, I probably should do a little more often. Um, Whenever I would do a money spell, I would always say to this day, out of need, not out of greed. And I will never show you guys a spell that has not worked for me. And that's why a spell that I just performed, I'm going to wait and see before I show you. I've actually performed 2 of them. And the funny thing is, something told me, perform the spell tonight. All day, like, these little things would ring into my ear, and I'm looking at the apple, and I'm looking at the apple, and I'm like, I gotta do a spell. And I did it, and then I checked the moon phase afterwards, which I should have been smarter. But regardless, something told me, like, you'll get that sense, you'll get that witchy sense, I call it. You'll get that witchy sense to do something. But I'm not saying don't test it out. I mean, if you don't think of it, don't freak out. But it's good to think of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to kind of check, what kind of mood is it tonight? Is it really the best time? If you feel off in any way, don't do it right then. And when you're feeding your spells, when you're giving it that energy and that intention, you want to always give your spells attention, especially if it's sitting on your altar, or if you don't have an altar, if you can't make an altar, you can make an altar out of a bandana. You know what I mean? You can have a travel altar, like, if you live in a crazy place, like I do, aside to do my videos at my mom's house. But anyway, if you live in a place that's busy, or you never have a chance to be kind of really, really alone and not have to worry about your stuff being touched and things like that, and kids getting at it, there's travel altars. And there's also, you can make it just water, air, earth, fire. You know, fire, a lighter, or you can even use a little birthday candle, a little tiny, teeny birthday candle for fire. You can get a little earth in a little tiny container, like a bottle cap for earth, or a rock. You can find this stuff, a seashell, or a little cup of water, or container, like if you have one of those holy water containers or something. You know, little cap full of water. If you're just doing a quick spell for that moment, you're by the lake or you're down by the woods. I'm just giving you guys ideas, you know what I mean, for altars and learning your own spells. Like, you really can't write your own spells, but I'd say learn from others and, like, take a little bit, maybe a little bit of this. I like this. Oh, that sounds good too. Now I got it after a while, and then you just kind of write your own little ditty, you know. Sigil Magic, which I have videos on my Boston Gal Tarot, actually. There might be some on here. Check it, look for it. Might be under the Raven Erasure. I don't know. It's like, some things are difficult to find, but let me know if you're having trouble finding it. I will do another Sigil Magic video. Sigil Magic is basically chaos magic, but it does work. And you need to know also how to get rid of spell remnants. Throwing them in the trash is not always the best, but if you live in the city like I do, and it's not too easy to bury things to throw them in the lake, which I've always liked to throw things in water. If you watch my videos, you know water is always a huge element of mine. Well, I have a lot of Pisces in me. No wonder. And fire is also an element I've always enjoyed. Well, the Aries. So, you know, I have a lot of fire and water in my chart. So, to me, that's part of the reason, but I just always loved water, always aquatic things. I've always just loved something about water and something about fire. Just those are my two favorites. But you guys know what I'm saying. But if you guys have any questions, I will go live if I see that there's more people kind of viewing and subscribing, liking, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get going with all that, alright? But yeah, I mean, I will teach you spells, but I just kind of want to do something to not only show that we're not evil, but to help out the new witch and such. Because I do have a Facebook group. It's called Witches of All Paths, the Witches Circle, Witches of All Paths, and it has a diamond on the side. So that's on Facebook. Check it out if you're interested, and join the group. All right, take care, guys. And it's private, so good night, guys. Raven signing out. Boston Gal Tarot. That's my other one. Bye bye.